see right now. Hello, Digital Dave. How you doing? From Salt Lake City. We got Richard Ballinger on the call. Steve Haldine. How you doing, Dan? Paul Kahn. Wow, man. I have known you for about 9 years. Thanks for being on the call today. Paul is a very technical guy. He's just like me. We got Jim Nestor on the call. How you doing, buddy? Seen a lot of activity from you in the Facebook group. We're going to start here in a couple minutes. People are starting to flow on. There was over 250 people registered for this call. Kind of at the last moment, we decided, you know what? Let's just upgrade our go-to and let everybody come in. So we don't want to leave any of you out today. Alejandro is here today. Glad you're here. DJ, how you doing, DJ? Where's everybody getting on the call from today? Just throw your city out there. I know some of you, it's probably in the UK. It's probably going towards what, the middle of the night now, and then you guys in Australia, it's probably afternoon. It's actually tomorrow in Australia, I think. London, Richmond, Virginia. Flint, yeah, she's Leslie Howe from Flint. She's my buddy. She's my SMS buddy. Queensland, Australia. Wow, everybody is, wow, so many internationals on the call today. That's awesome. We'll give it one more minute. Is everybody pretty much familiar with what we're doing, just based on the previous emails that were sent out and from our Facebook group? Yeah, we don't need to get into it too much, but we're gonna let you guys in very early in the call. We're not gonna waste your time today. Like I said before, I've said it 1,000 times. It's like, this isn't guru stuff. This is corporate business we're dealing with here. And we're gonna try to get you guys out of that guru trap. Does that sound fair enough? Are you guys done with the guru BS? I hear you, Terry. I'm done with it too. Rick Caldwell says, for sure, exclamation point, exclamation point. And Jim Nestor as well. All right, so let's get it going. This is the Dealership Easy Money Machine. Welcome to the webinar. I'm your host, Everett Hopkins. Many of you know me. I've known you guys, some of you for almost a decade now. You guys are my most loyal customers, always supported me. I have new partners, John Pasamato and Alina Pasamato, formerly known as Alina, was it Ciccatelli? Is it Ciccatelli?
Yes, Ciccatelli. There it is. Thank you, Ed Hopkins. We are here.
We're here. John and Alina actually just got married. Was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, May 1st.
All right, can we get a round of applause for John? Congratulations.
Very sad.
3 weeks and still going strong.
Is there any, let's play a little newlywed game here. Let's get some questions for John and Alina.
Nice.
All right, I think we get enough time for everybody to get on. Like I said before, we're going to make this quick. We know many of you got to get to the Chicago hockey game, or you watch the Deadliest Catch, because we're competing against you right now. I'm getting a little butterflies. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting a little butterflies about this. I'm really excited. And I gotta say this too. I gotta congratulate one of our beta testers that was just on for just a few days in our system. They've already sold their first dealer for a profit. Isn't that pretty cool, man? I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to divulge their information out. But there's a few more of you too that have also sold some dealers and some dealership groups automotive group. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep.
They've already just told people. They haven't even showed it yet. Hey, can I get you to mute real quick, John? I'm getting a little bit of echo. Test. Okay, we're good. And it's not that hard to show and tell with Sales Text Chat. I mean, most of these guys that have already gone out and sold are just telling it about the product. So that's pretty big statement about our product. I mean, this show and tell is stuff we did when we were in kindergarten. And I want this to be a reminder too that when you guys get on with us today, the first training call is tomorrow at the same time, and it's going to continue every week for 4 weeks until we can get on a monthly schedule thereafter. So let's go on here. We value your time. We are not here to hype anything. If you're expecting a new shiny object, please leave the webinar now. Oh wow, just like 50 you guys just dropped on. No. Like I said, this is not the marketing guru game where we launch a new product every week. This is also not one of those memberships where we could care less if you do nothing as long as you're paying your dues. We do give a crap about you and your success in this business because we're trying to get you guys into the corporate world and get you out of the guru world. So instead, we are giving you the opportunity to be part of our company expansion. We are looking for partners to take our unique product line and can actively market it to dealerships and other companies that can benefit from our platform. Now, this product is owned by our company, Dealer Mobile Solutions LLC. We are not resellers of another for-profit company's technologies. Now, how many gurus can even say that? Most of this stuff is just reselling other companies' software. And I know most of you, you're getting tired of also being in the game where you think that that product and that business model is going to last for more than 2-3 weeks, but it never does. We're in this for the long haul. We already have a quite substantial amount of dealers already in our system, including the largest dealership in the world, the Ford Motor Company. So that's saying a lot. Now, your security in partnering with us is that we're not going to go away. We have active clients now. We're not going to move on to the next shiny object a month down the road. We know you hate it. We do too. Anything we launch beyond today becomes part of your portfolio of offerings with Sales Text Chat. Now, we have some mind-blowing product lines coming in the next 30 days, and we'll get into that later. I'm always going to share with people. Let's not get in the way of our product, which is Sales Text Chat. Now, I made a promise to you guys. We canceled the last webinar just so we can kind of progress in our software. So here's how you can become a partner with us. dealermobilesolutions.com/join. And Alina, if you could, can you post inside of the chat box to the entire group that URL?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much. We are accepting limited partnerships. Access to the dealership Easy Money Machine ends when you have met our planned quota, not in any time. Now with this, you snooze, you definitely lose, we lose big. So please take a moment and listen closely. I'm going to tell you how to make your monthly membership fee free in just a moment. Stay with us until the end. We have a lot to discuss about the business model, the technology, and how we are poised to bring the competition to its needs. Now, to be an uninvited partner with us is going to be quite expensive. Corporate advertisers will be paying the corporate premiums. Most of you have been with me for years and have been very loyal to me, and I appreciate that with all my previous brands. Now, my previous brands, WhoopText, Wrecking Ball, SMS, are not going away. In fact, John and Alina are my partners on that as well, as we recently acquired the entire SMS business from Wrecking Ball marketing many months ago. Now, I know a lot of you have been anxiously waiting. There's still a bit of a holdup, and it's almost guaranteed now that we're going to be completed. We're working on the compliance, SMS compliance. USA, we're compliant already. UK, Canada, and Australia, we're already compliant. We're just waiting approval from our compliance officer. And once we get that approval, you will be live. So I apologize for the lateness on that, but it's just something that we have to go through. The international setups, while we're waiting for the compliance department to give us the final clearance, you still have the opportunity to make a little bit of waves because you're going to get into the back office and you're going to learn a little bit about the business model. Now, because we're going to be making some waves in the business, and I foresee us making tsunamis, the regulators are going to be watching us very closely, just waiting for us to mess up so they can collect their greedy fines. We're not going to allow that to happen for any reason whatsoever. So just know that we're doing this for you guys. We want to keep you out of trouble too. This is the page that you're going to see at dealermobilesolutions.com/join. That's how you get it to be a partner with us. Now, it is $99 setup, and then it's $37 a month for complete business access. Now, there are licenses included. There's one license, it's a franchise license, included with your membership. It includes 2,500 SMS credits, unlimited keywords, etc., etc. But if you ever bring on any other dealerships, you need to purchase another license. The licenses range from $67 to $109. And you're going to see the pricing list on this page as well. Anytime you purchase your very first license with us, we're going to discount that license $37, essentially washing your membership fee. So that's going to be included inside of the cost of your first franchise or non-franchise license. The URL is up here. Can anybody see this? People say they can't see the URL. dealermobilesolutions.com/join. I have to put this in the chat. Just hang in there. It is in the chat, guys. Let me put it in there again. Did everybody get that now? Cool. Awesome. Now, as I stated earlier, those of you that are not invited, most of you on the call are invited. Those that aren't invited are going to be charged $6.99 setup and $2.99 a month. And the licensing is not going to be wholesale. When I say wholesale, all the credits that are included with all your plans, keep in mind we're purchasing the phone numbers, we're using our credits, our short code. You don't have to bring any of that to the game. You just bring the customer. We'll take care of the rest. All of that is wholesale. If at any time any of your dealers, they go over their quota for the month, we'll probably just let it slide because maybe it was just a really good month. But if it ever gets too bad where they're just using that next month's credit, we're just going to charge them wholesale. We don't want to make any money on the SMS credits. You're going to get charged wholesale. Yes, and this is good in Canada, the UK, Australia, United States. As stated on the previous slide, there's just a little bit of a holdup for the compliance on the other countries, not the USA. All right, so let's move forward here. Am I boring you guys? I think I am. Wait till you guys hear John. So a little bit about Dealer Mobile Solutions LLC. Our CEO, John Asamato. John, is that a Jaguar?
That's actually an antique Jaguar. I took that shot in a very large, prominent dealer in California because he had, even though he sold new cars, he had a series of antique, expensive Jaguars. I said, look, I really like that car. I just want a picture with it. So.
Yeah, Harley like the same value as all my cars I've heard of.
That one is a numbered antique, believe it or not.
Wow. Today, John's going to be talking a little about himself, his experience with mobile marketing changes, reshaping the industry. He's going to talk about the business model and why we're unique, and why dealers are blown away by sales text chat. So, John, I'm going to mute myself and take the stage.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Ed, and thank you everybody that's on the call. As I told Ed earlier, getting me to talk about this is really easy. Getting me to shut up, a little bit more difficult. So a little bit about my background. I've been in the automotive business a real long time, since the mid-'80s. Went to business school, went to law school, still have a law license, but got into retail kind of by accident in the retail end of the business, and pull out some numbers on the dealership. With fleet sales, I've been on the manufacturer side, I've been in the startup side in the car business. So consequently, I know a lot of dealers, I have a lot of relationships, and have seen and experienced a few of the curves in the industry. I can remember, for instance, back in the late 90s when the net came around, the dealers were saying, well, we'll never replace the newspaper. And of course, that changed a lot. And around 2004, 2005, when SEO was out there, again, few dealers did it, but I saw that revolution. What I see here, bottom line is, to cut to the chase, is mobile, and particularly text communication, is going to change things even more fundamentally. It's going to change it because this is a product that literally is in the in the cost pattern of every dealership out there. You can go to the smallest mom and pop, and they can afford this. The numbers and the metrics are dramatic. If somebody has a mobile site and they're a dealership and they have text chat on the site, a little text button,
the traffic goes up by about a third. Right? It doesn't decrease phone calls, doesn't decrease email, but intuitively what you would expect actually happens here. You increase the traffic. But this is the real number, and this has been verified by other guys in the industry. The average close rate on this lead is higher than any other lead that comes into the dealership outside of a walk-in. People are closing on average 1 out of 4. For every 4 text chat leads, they sell 1 car. Right? Now, the margin on a car, particularly on a used car, is very high, which means they can pay for this literally with 1 sale, actually less than 1 sale a month, without even making a kind of a dent in their marketing budget. Right? Some of the guys that I have experience with are actually closing 50% of the leads. Right? A little bit of background here. I kind of discovered the ability to text chat back a few years ago. 2012, there was a little company that had a little piece of software, nowhere near as dynamic as what we're talking about with sales text chat. And I started working with them. And again, the numbers that I found and the results that I found really blew me away. One thing I can tell you, too, that Ed mentioned is, look, this isn't kind of there'll be a next product next week, next product. This product has serious legs. I got to tell you, from the very beginning, I have never lost a customer, right? Simple reason is the ROI return for the dealer is amazing, right? I have every single customer I ever had from day one, and they continue to pay every month. There's not too many products like that, but this is one of those things. Right? So they had this product. I sold it for a while. It definitely lacked some things. They're one of the competitors out there. And that's when I hooked up with Ed. And I said, okay, I've got a lot of dealer input here. From my customers, from dealers I know, I've got a lot of suggestions that would make a really gangbuster product. Can we build it? Because if we can build it, we can take the market. Again, to make a long story short, Ed built it. Okay. Now the trick is just getting it out fast enough. And as Ed says, you really are partners in that. Right? You can close most of the dealers that you get in front of without them even thinking twice about it. Again, for the amount that the normal dealer spends, even the small guys in marketing, this doesn't make a dent in their budget, but the return is very, very high. So in a partnership basis, what I'm saying is if there's 17,000 new car dealers, there's 40,000 used car dealers. Right? Every one of them needs this service. More and more stuff is going to text. Most of them don't have anything like this even offered to them. And so how can we get this out quick enough and literally dominate this market so that our product is the standard? And I can count on Ed to keep freshening it up and adding modules and making sure that it's continually better than anything else out there. But the core product doesn't go away, and the need for the core product doesn't go away. The dealer reaction is extremely strong. And again, right, what I've also found when you get into a market where you've sold a couple of dealers, That's as good advertising as anything. You can literally walk into a dealership across the street from one dealer that has the text chat button on his site and say, look, this guy has this. Don't you want access to this too? And it's almost a guaranteed sale. So the product has long legs. There's a need in the industry. It's very, very early stage. You won't find too many competitors, and I can get into the details of the competitors out there, but our product is way better than anything else offered, right? And it's a matter of exposure, just getting out there and pushing it out there. Again, you can mark up the cost 3, 4, 5, 6 times and not have an issue. Cost really isn't an issue. It's getting them to try it. And then once they try it, again, I've never lost anybody in 3 years. They all continue to use it every month and cut the check because they can see, right, it's returning dollars back to them because more and more of their traffic is coming by text, right? And if you look on your average dealership website, particularly the independent guys, but also the franchise guys, most of them don't have this button on there. You show it, you demo the button, it's almost a no-brainer, right? So that's kind of the gestation of how this happened. Again, we have more collective experience in the dealership end of things than any company out there, and a lot deeper feedback loop on what these guys want to see and how they want the product to work, and we put that all in this generation of the product. So again, you know, we're a resource for you, but I'm really ramped up on this because I'm telling you, there's very few things out there with a dealer that if you get in front of the decision maker, you can show them, and it really is a one visit, literally 15-minute close. This is one of those things, right? Happening every day. In fact, that's why we want to get a core network around the country. I don't want anybody to come in after us and steal the market. We can own this market.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am really fired up. When I am done just doing all this legwork for getting this started, I'm actually going to be approaching dealerships myself. And I know, John, you're just totally crushing it right now. I don't think anybody can ever say no to you. And I think that's, let me get you to mute real quick, John. And I think just what you're bringing to the table with the foot in the door techniques and the getting to the gatekeepers, I mean, that's stuff that you have down pat. And you also have your own sales team that we're going to be bringing on calls to that are going to assist in how to get your foot in the door and get to the gatekeeper. So it's going to be a pretty massive solution to provide this to the dealerships, but you're also going to have the proper training. We want you to get out there. I know for a fact there's 10 of you right now that'll have 100 dealers by the end of the year. I just know, just from doing business and kind of like following some of you guys, I know many of you are disappointed because you've gotten involved in something and just gone away like a couple months later. And you kind of want to have something that you can put your efforts behind, and this is the product because we are not going away, and I'm with it to the end. I'm riding this train to the end, and it's never going to go off the cliff. I think it's just going to keep going higher and higher. I'm reaching for the galaxies. If I hit the moon, I'm still a success. So that's my standpoint on that. We are going to have a Q&A session here in just a minute here. Just hang tight, guys. I only have a few more minutes till we get to the Q&A. I'm going to get to our next slide. Our dealership is an all-in-one solution, and here's what it features. We have two-way sales and service text chat. Many of you already know what that is. Text chat and service text chat can be invoked in 4 different ways. It can be facilitated on a desktop or a mobile. And I'll give you a couple screen caps on this. So here's our desktop version. Let me get back to the screen. Here's our mobile version. Very beautiful, very intuitive, easy to use. You guys have seen it on my previous videos that Alina sent out to you guys. If asked later, we can get into a little bit more. We have, oops, got to go back here. I don't know why it is going forward by itself. Look at that. It's breaking on me. All right. Someone is manipulating my screen. Look at that. I can't get it to stay. All right. This is funny. This has never, ever happened to me. As soon as I go to click on something, there we go. All right, so we have our chat buttons. This is what it looks like on a website. Most dealership websites are pretty much set up the same way. They have the home page, then you have the listing pages. And we have this nice HTML5 form that customers fill out. Now that's one way that a chat is invoked. The other way is keyword chat. And what happens here is we set up a keyword either under the dealership or under a specific agent. We can set up the response. And this can also be a marketing message, but it also starts a chat session. We can also deliver a coupon. And let's say if we want to deliver an oil coupon just for texting in, we can do that with MMS. Can you guys see my browser screen right now? Good, good, good. A couple people said they couldn't see it. All right, so back to the slide. We have the manual chat. Essentially what this is, if a dealership has done like some outside marketing with another agency and they've collected like cell phone numbers, if it's within 30 days, we can allow them to enter a phone number here and start the chat. When they start the chat, it'll ask that customer if they want to chat with our dealership. If they text back yes, the session begins. Easy as that. So that's one way that we stay in compliance as well. Next, we have our PC EXE chat. It is an industry first. It is patent pending. What this is, let me bring this up. The dealership on any computer, in most dealerships, I think John will back me up on this. If not, just let me know, John. Most dealerships are using PCs, Microsoft Windows, Windows 8, Windows 7. I don't think they go back to Windows XP, but our EXE chat allows this to sit in the background, and anytime a new chat session begins, a chat bubble and a sound will show up here on the just above the clock, and the person or agent can click on that and start chatting. Pretty powerful tool just to have that handy. John and I, we've had many discussions about how when you walk in a dealership, there's always a few lazy people. Just you have the secretary doing her nails. I mean, this is a good job for those people. It's something for them to do. But this can go on any PC, any agent, and even the Internet Manager's PC. No other, see, it's doing it to me again. No other dealer company can provide the EXE chat. We do have MMS two-way enabled. It's an industry first, which allows a customer to text pictures to us. So with service text chat, if there's something wrong with the car and they can't get to the dealership, but they want to make sure that what is wrong with the car, they want to show it to the service department. Hey, this is a picture of my part. It looks like it's broken. What do you think? And the service department will reply back, hey, it looks like this part is broken. We're going to send a tow truck out to you, pick up the car. This is how much the estimate's going to be. They can even send the estimate via SMS or MMS and have that in a PDF. So another huge feature that is still untapped. We are just starting to get dealerships to take part in our service text chat. Coming down the road in 7 days, we have a two-way sales and service web chat. Many of you have seen Sales Text Chat 24, Pure Chat, Contact at Once. Well, we're going to have the same technology, and you know what? For you guys, it's no extra fee. When you guys purchase a license from us for a dealership, when they sign on, you get all these features built into your license automatically. You determine what you want to upsell, and then use those as bargaining chips when the price comes down. We also have a built-in reputation management system. This helps keep the bad Google reviews out. And I'll give you a couple screenshots of that. Here it is, what it looks like on the desktop. This is a link that is delivered to the phone. And here is what it looks like on the mobile. So it's just another feature that we can provide to our dealerships. We're trying to be an all-in-one solution here, and I think with just a few more advancements with a few more products that we're going to be telling you guys about in 30 days, I think that's going to put us at the pinnacle of this industry. Now with MMS, it works in Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia, and the United States. For the UK and Australia, it physically doesn't send you a picture, it sends you a link to a picture. That's just the way it's set up right now. We do use Twilio phone numbers. I know Twilio is getting real close to offering MMS in the UK, even further away in Australia, but still we're going to be able to provide those services to those countries. Also, and this is huge, and we ran across this today because somebody has access to some big dealership groups with many locations. If you sign on an automotive group that has more than 5 locations, 6 locations, we're going to install them their own white label sales text chat system. Now, this is an industry first. No other company will even touch this. But it's going to allow the dealers to oversee their entire network of sub-companies or dealership lots that they currently own. It's a very massive, massive feature, and it's massive for you because we're not going to charge you for it. This is a feature that you can upsell. You approach that dealership group that says they have 20 locations, you can say, whoa, whoa, whoa. We can provide you like an all-seeing eye of your dealerships with the sales text chat, but we're going to have to do it under a white label. It's going to cost you XXX more a month. That's just another upsell option. And then as a downsell, you give it for free because you're going to get it for free anyway. And next we have our call to notify system. It is industry first. With our testing, I'm really surprised that no other company has seen this, but it's just because I think we care more and we kind of monitor what our businesses are doing, our dealerships. We've noticed that the response times from agents has been really, really bad with some dealerships. I don't know if it's because the rules are more or less lackadaisical with these guys, but we wanted to kind of solve that problem because we want to increase their closing ratio. We just don't want them to pay us every month. We kind of want to help them increase their bottom line as well. So what we've implemented is a call notification system. So when a person goes to the website, they fill out the form, and they reply yes, that they've accepted our chat invitation, the agent on the other end is going to get a phone call. And they're going to have an option to have the phone number read to them, get the mobile chat link texted to them, or they can press another button and start the conversation with a customer. It's going to connect both the calls, and they're allowed 3 minutes to talk. But more than likely, most of those agents are going to use the mobile chat, and we recommend that all dealers stick with the chat. Don't ever try to get a invited texting customer on the phone. You're going to kill the deal, because the reason why they're texting you is because they want to talk to you via text. They don't want to talk to you via phone. And we've seen this from several dealers where someone will get an invite, and then the next second the agent or the salesman is saying, please call me. Well, that's the wrong approach, because that's how to kill a deal with sales text chat. They're texting us for a reason. That's something that we convey to them, and we're still trying to teach our dealers proper etiquette when using SMS. So next, let's get into the revenue stream. How much can you make? It's pretty much up to you. Our non-franchise licenses are $67, and our franchise licenses are $109. And John, if you can hop on and just discuss what the differences are between these two, just so we can make it clear to all of our partners.
Yeah, between franchise and non-franchise, really simple. If they have a new car nameplate from a manufacturer, they would fall into the franchise category, and it goes by rooftop. So if they have, if 6 different franchises are under one rooftop, that's one license, not 6 licenses. And if they don't have a franchise, if they're an independent dealer, they're a used car dealer, 67 again per rooftop. So in a lot of cases, if you have a Ford Lincoln store or if you have a GMC Buick store under one roof, that would be one franchise license. If it's a used car store, like a CarMax, that would be, or new car license, that would be a used car license at 67.
Yeah, people are asking what exactly you mean by rooftop. If you can kind of elaborate on that.
What exactly you mean by
rooftop is simply facility, right? So If I have 3 franchises separated with 3 different buildings and 3 locations, that would be 3 licenses. On the other hand, if I had 3 franchises in one building, which you see a lot, like you see Ford Lincoln dualed a lot, right, that would just be 1 license fee for one building. As long as it's a single BDC department, it's 1 license, regardless of how many franchises they have.
Yeah, I think the best way that I could explain it, you can go ahead and mute yourself, John, is when you're separating the non-franchise and franchise, consider it as 1 address. So that's my definition of rooftop, is 1 address. Now, there's some business models that, and keep in mind that selling to dealerships is not the only business model with this. Those web properties that are out there are considered locations as well. And we'll kind of get into that more as we go on here. So, as stated earlier in the call, you're going to get $37 off your first license, making your membership essentially free. You can sell text chat service between $199 and $699 a month. And I think you can go even higher than that. You have your upsells and bargaining chips. This is all stuff that we provide for free to you, but you can decide if you want to make money on it. Obviously, SMS keywords. John Passamano routinely gets $15 to $30 for each keyword. He recently signed on a dealership. They had 40 salesmen. Each one of them got their own keywords. So just think about the massive commission on that one. We have our web chat. You can sell that from $20 or to $500. You make the call. It's totally up to you. Reputation protection module. You can sell that from $40 to $200. Up to you. We have our auto group white label solution as discussed on the previous slide. If you want to upcharge and upsell for that, you can do that. At any point, you can use these as downsells. You approach a dealer and say, okay, for all of our services combined, it's going to be $350 a month. They might come back and say, well, that's a little bit expensive. It's kind of close to what the competition's doing. Can you get me in at $250? Well, if I get you in at $250, it's going to be a little bit harder on me, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and do $250. I'm going to throw in all the keywords, the web chat, the reputation protection, and the white label for free. However you want to do it, we give you the pieces to put it all together. So there's over 50,000 dealerships waiting for an all-in-one billable solution. Now, you guys can go ahead and put in the chat box, what other niche industries could use this? How huge of a potential is there with any other industries? I see a lot of real estate. Anything different? Anything different than real estate? Yep, boat, AV, insurance, dentist, furniture, motorcycles, brokers, tourism, web design, classic cars, farm machinery. Yes, all of those are perfect for sales text chat. All right, next we're going to get into our Q&A session. If you got a question, ask away. If you have anything you want to know about the member area, the sales text chat system, we can show it to you. Just shoot us a question. Dealership Easy Money Machine, here's the link to join to become part of this massive launch that we're doing, and I'm so excited. I'm getting butterflies just thinking of where we're going with this. This is kind of where I wanted to be for the last 5 years. There were some people that were holding me back, but this is where I wanted to be, and I'm just excited. I'm really, really touched. I'm very thankful to have John and Lena as partners right now, and I'm going to be even more happy with you guys coming on as my partner as well, because I want to work with you guys one-on-one. And I want to kind of get you guys out of this guru trap. If for some reason this URL goes down, we have a backup join page. It's amobile.clickfunnels.com/buy now. All right, so let's get some questions. Are you guys ready, John and Lena, for some questions?
We're all set.
All right. Why is this better than live chat solutions?
Okay, well, the web chat feature is live chat, right? Text chat is very, very different. Text chat is all text-based. And in terms of the pricing, at least in the car business, you won't see a lot of text buttons out there, but you will see a lot of live chat. There's two dominant players, active, engage, and contact at once. And I want to emphasize that just in live chat, not text chat, which actually gets higher closing ratios and is going to turn out to be way more useful a feature for these guys that they don't have. And live chat, they're getting anywhere from $300, $350 on the low end to $1,000, $1,100 a month on the high end, right? So in terms of, and we'll get into this a little bit more tomorrow and in weeks going by, if you see a dealer, for instance, that's using live chat, right, you go in and say, look, do you have the text portion? They don't have a text button on there, right? So well, what if I could lower your overall price for your web chat, which is live chat, and give you the texting portion as well for equal to or less than what you're paying now? Instant sale technique, right? So there's live chat and there's text chat. Remember, text is texting, right? I hit the little button, I start texting with you. It is not live chat. In a lot of ways, it's more forgiving than live chat, and the closing ratios on text seems to be a lot higher. I'll tell you something that's very interesting, right? To a customer, right, text is the least kind of threatening way to communicate with a car dealer. A lot of customers are very intimidated by car dealers, right? They don't want to walk in. They don't want to call, right? And in a lot of cases, they don't even want to live chat, right? But texting is considered kind of just one step away so that they don't feel threatened. Ironically, the text lead is the most important to a dealership. Why? Because I've just captured that guy's cell phone number. I've just captured his name. If it comes in off of a listing page, I've captured the vehicle he's interested in, and he's just told me, he's just given me the opt-in authorization to contact him back and forth as many times as I can, right? So it's very ironic, but the live chat lead is the most important, right? It's the piece they don't have, and it's very different than live chat. Gets a very different lead, gets a very different closing ratio. Not that live chat isn't okay. I mean, we've built it as a module because dealers use it. But it's a very easy sale if they're using live chat now and they come back with that exact question. It's a good question. Why do I need text chat if I've got live chat? Well, there's live chat and there's texting. More people want to text. You'll find your closing ratio a lot higher with texting, right? You'll find a different customer that only will text. Oh, and by the way, we can give you the live chat as well, and we can give it to you, the whole package cheaper. Again, it's kind of like a no-brainer sale when you put it in that perspective from the buyer or from the dealer.
Well said. You can go ahead and mute, John, and then when I ask the next question, you can, you can unmute yourself. Okay, next question. Will there be training provided? Absolutely, George. That is in the members area, and we're also going to have weekly webinars starting tomorrow. Larry says, in the auto magazine, will we get these leads? Larry, no, you're not going to get these leads, but you're going to have the clout to show that we have been in a major publication to the dealerships that you approach. It's going to add a little bit of credibility. That's all I got to say about that. And John might have something to expand on that too.
Yeah, I want to jump in there too. Particularly the new car dealers, but dealers in general are very competitive. If they weren't, they wouldn't be in the car business. What we'll give you, and I'm looking forward to this in the training, is not only a lot of the experiences that we've had on what's a most effective sale, but we'll give you guys that are using this right now, and we'll give you closing ratios and say, look at dealer X, look at dealer Y, look at the largest Ford dealer in the country, look at this guy, look at that guy, and give you those things so that your dealer customer can pull up their sites and say, hey, wait, I do see that text chat button. That's interesting. Is that yours? Yeah, it is. This guy's using it. And in a lot of cases, that's enough to move them forward as well, right? It's not so much a lead as it's a competitive thing. Hey, look, if some of the biggest guys in the country are using this and this is rolling out all over the place, then yeah, I think I ought to give this a try, especially at the price point that you're offering it.
Thank you, John. How does this link to their website? That's a question from Ken. Essentially what it is a chat widget. And let me jump in here. And inside of your dealer management, so the dealer can log in and you can log in as well, you go to the chat widgets, and all they do is take this code and you copy it and you send it to the programmer, whoever is designing the website for the dealer. There's also instructions so you don't have to get like into complicated technical discussions with them. You just send them to our web designer information page, and it'll tell them how to master put the buttons in. From this, it might look complicated to you, but a programmer looks at this, oh, this is very simple. So that's just something that we implemented recently just to take some of the time out of setting up a dealer, complete it a little bit faster. Next question. So this is $100 setup and then $37 a month, Rebecca asks. Then each customer is another fee per month. That is correct. Each dealership or customer that you bring in is going to be an additional license fee, depending on if it's non-franchise or franchise, $67 or $109. Now, you don't have to buy these licenses before you get the dealer. Always sell to them first before you purchase a license. That way, it's almost no expense out of your pocket until you've collected money from the dealership. We don't want you guys like pre-buying licenses. You don't need to do that. You already have a demo license that's attached to your account already. What sales materials do we have? All right, let me kind of get into the member area here. I'll log in. This is mobile ready, guys. So if you guys ever want to access this with a mobile phone, you can do that. I think John has something to say. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add too. These guys will pay installation fees, even though, I mean, we're not charging installation fees, but you can get some money up front for installation that'll help with that license immediately.
Thank you for that, John. And here I am. This is the homepage here. We ask all of our partners to get on our notification list because there are webinars that are going to be occurring. It's a very simple back office. There's quick access to your sales text chat system, and there's even a video how to use the Partner Center right below. We have the business model that John kind of discusses, some of the stuff that he's talked about today and some stuff that he hasn't. It's all very good information that will help you sell sales text chat. We have the business training. We have 3 videos already done. You can see the topics here. You can register for calls that are coming down the pipe, and the first one is tomorrow at 8 p.m. We have sales literature, and for those of you that have been in our Facebook group, you have seen our handouts. We have a product information white paper, and we also have our setup forms as well. Everything you need to get that dealership into the system. We have our licensing center. As stated to you before, your first license is going to be discounted. So if you sign on a franchise license for $350 a month, that's only going to cost for that particular dealer cost you $72 per month. So that's quite a huge profit margin. Even at the prices that don't include the $37 off your first license, it's still a huge profit margin for you guys. And that's kind of how we want it to be. We have quick access to the chat panel, along with instructions on how to use that and setting up your customers. We have our own support desk, and we also have our very active Facebook group where everybody is going to be talking about sales text chat and their techniques on what they're using to get the sale. So on to the next question here. Is there a demo video somewhere? I missed most of the demo due to poor internet connection. There is going to be a replay available just a couple hours after the call. Look out for an email from Elena. Ed asked, talk about the marketing collateral available, the brochure. I think we kind of got into that already. Can you break down the costs again? We already did that. Can they have more than one agent receiving chats? I'm going to let you answer that. It's a question from Michael. Go ahead, John, if you want to discuss on that particular point.
Sure. They can have as many people inside the dealership receiving the alerts to answer the chats as they want. In a lot of cases, you have an administrator that's also on the alert system that can, hit the link and take a look and see if one of the agents is responding, and if not, they jump in. I have one dealership where the 2 dealer principals, the 2 top guys, actually monitor and in a lot of cases answer everything because they've realized that these leads are the most important leads they have. So yeah, it's up to the dealership's discretion. They can have half a dozen guys getting these links and these alerts, or they can have one guy, or they can have maybe a top guy monitoring a couple of guys that get these alerts. Anything they really want inside the store.
Okay, next question. Okay, the reputation management go into Google or any specific source? What happens with our reputation management, if the rating is 2 or less, the service department or whoever's responsible for the dealership's reputation, their manager is going to get an email that they have an unpleased customer. They're going to get all the information about that customer and their feedback that they left. If it is a good feedback, they're going to be sent directly to Google to leave a review. In most Android phones, people are already logged into Google. So when they go to leave that review, all they do is hit that link, and it's going to put up the review, and they just put in the stars, and they put in the review, and they're done. And we ask them on our thank you page when we collect their information to leave a nice review about us if they've left us good feedback. So each franchise is $109, so we are charged $109 for each dealer. That is correct. If you bring on a franchise deal like a Chevy dealership, it is $109 a month for the license for them to use the sales text chat, and that is monthly. So make sure that you're charging your dealerships that you sign on monthly as well. If you are collecting a huge upfront for a year's service, you'll have to work it out with us how you want to pay for that, because we don't want to get in a situation where they pay you $5,000, you pay us $109, then something happens in your life and you have to spend $4,500, and now your dealership is stuck without a sales check chat system. We don't want that to happen. So you always have to be very aware of what's going on inside your business. We're giving you guys the majority of the control on all this. We're kind of standing back and let you represent us. But we will, and John and I discussed this just before we got on the call, we are going to provide some assistance in closing deals. If you get that big client, you're just having trouble getting over that hurdle, we will provide some personal one-on-one with that dealership you're trying to sell if it's needed. We also are going to provide probably bi-monthly webinars where you can get your dealership prospects on a webinar, and we'll kind of let John sell them on the whole sales text chat system, because he's very good at doing it. He's been doing it for almost 3 years now. Nigel says, this is so freaking awesome. Didn't want to miss out. I'm in already. Thanks, Nigel. Is there a training guide for those of us without as much technical background? Renee asked that. Yes, absolutely. There is full training, and at any time I welcome any of you to contact me on Skype if you have any questions that are unanswered. Dwayne asked, those fees you mentioned on the last page, are those monthly? Yeah, the licenses are all monthly, and the membership fee is monthly. Your first license fee is washed with your first license that you purchase for a dealership, but you also have one that's included with your membership as well. So if you want to have sales text chat on your own website, you can do that. Seems like, Matt asked, seems like there's a ton of value. Can you help us learn to sell it? Absolutely, that's our goal here. Dan asked, is there website content we can install for our front end? Dan, we are kind of working on that for our own website. Currently, all of our selling techniques are just based on show and tell right now. We didn't want to get into the website business. We don't want to really do that, because at the end of the day, nobody's ever happy. And I don't have the time to deal with, hey, can you fix this? Hey, can you change this? I don't have the time to deal with it. John, Alina, and myself, we are here running a corporation now, and we want to run it very efficiently. We don't want to deal with, that's why we created this as an all-in-one solution on one domain where everybody accesses. We didn't want to get involved in, hey, I can't install this software on my server, and my SQL is down. I don't want to deal with that stuff anymore. I've dealt with it with Wrecking Ball SMS. I've learned my lesson. So that's why we're not going to have your own self-install solutions ever. Let me go down here. Show me the money asked, are all of the old Wrecking Ball text message products dead in the water, or did you grab them too? No, actually, we acquired those products from Wrecking Ball. It's kind of funny that you're asking about it, because we just added a new feature that is going to be installed on WootText tomorrow, which is a coupon tracker built in all your campaigns. So those product lines have not ended. They're going to go on, and they're fully supported, and will be fully supported. Alina, can you place the ClickFunnels link in the chat box, please? That is from Anthony. That is from Anthony.
Yes, I can do that. Hold on.
Oh, I thought we put you to sleep, Alina.
No, I'm still here. I'm here.
All right, you can go ahead.
Also, too, I wanted to just really quickly too. I know we were kind of pressed for time, but about the installations with the website providers. I'm kind of like the go-to gal for all of those. So if after you close a sale and you're trying to get the buttons installed on your client's website, feel free to reach out to me to help you with that. I'm sure we'll cover it in weeks coming up for different trainings, but there is a specific technique that I use to get the job done. So I'll let you close the sale first, and then we'll get the buttons installed. So any technical issues like that, I'm your girl for that.
Thank you, Alina. All right, next question. Mark asks, the Chevy dealer I work with gets website from Chevy, can't put CODA on the website without Chevy approved vendor status. John, can I let you address that? If you need me to repeat it, just let me know.
Absolutely, no. Yeah, Chevy is one of those few sticklers. They still use Cobalt, a vendor that's now owned by CDK. You can get on there. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Same thing with Subaru. It's not as easy to do it with Subaru, but you can get on there. And I have dealers that actually got the buttons on, and we're making progress. Even I mean, it's a technology with Cobalt, not really a Chevy policy or a Subaru policy. It's more of a stickler with this one vendor called Cobalt, which a lot of dealers, by the way, are getting away from. Hyundai used to be strictly Cobalt, and we couldn't get on there, and then Dealer.com started offering sites, and most of the dealers migrated to Dealer.com, and we can get on that very, very easily. So right now, you're correct. Chevy's a little bit of a stickler with Cobalt, but I see that changing in the very near future.
Thank you, John. Joe B says, awesome opportunity. Can we get some live examples for our demo? Absolutely. You do get a license with your membership, and you can start setting up a sales text chat on your own website to demo. We already have a couple, like I said before, we had some beta testers that did it for themselves, and they installed it, and one guy actually went out his second day and he sold a dealership. So it's a pretty impressive suite that we have of software. I'm starting to lose my voice. Paulette asks, one of the dealers in my area is using service where the website creator is also providing the text chat. How do you pry that dealer away? John, let you tackle that one.
Who is that vendor? All right, there's only a handful of text chat providers. None of them have a lot of the exclusives that we have. And this is where we can get kind of down in the nitty-gritty in our sales webinars. But if you give me the vendor, I can give you the holes in it. Right? I can say, okay, here, this is what they don't have. Here's the points they don't have. I can almost probably tell you what they're charging to, and you can pretty much get around that. Most of these guys don't have any vendor. If they do have a vendor for a text chat product, not a live chat, but a text chat product, we pretty much know who that is, and we can shoot holes with it. If it's a live chat product, again, that's an even easier sale because you can say, look, tell me what you're paying. If I can have you pay that or less and add text and all these other features to it, would you do it? And invariably, it's a yes, right? They're going to save money and they're going to get a lot more features.
Hey, John, mute real quick because I'm going to ask you a question. Now, when it comes to these third-party web design firms that are making websites for the dealerships, and let's say they are providing like a couple services like Paulette just mentioned in her question, isn't it does it always work for the dealership like this where they're the customer and the customer is always right? So if they go to that provider and say, hey, your chat sucks, we don't want it, we want this new chat button placed on the site, is it something that provider will do just because they want to keep that customer for the other service that they're providing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking the franchise dealers because the independents, I mean, there's no problem with the local guy doing the site. He puts it on there. And most of the franchise dealers, you're absolutely right. Dealer demands that they can get it. Interestingly enough, one of the more controlled websites is Ford through their independent alliance with something called Ford Direct, which is half owned by Ford and half owned by dealers. They would like to get everyone doing whatever pays money to Ford Direct. They allow our text chat on it. Right? They can't withhold it. Most of those sites are done by dealer.com for Ford Direct. And interestingly enough, they kind of tried to block at the beginning, but I can tell you the experience was so strong with the Ford dealers that I have that they wouldn't dare try to block it now. Right? I mean, they'll let it on there. And again, the ultimate goal of the manufacturer is to sell vehicles. This sells vehicles. They would like everybody on it. In a lot of cases, a dealer can get co-op money for buying this, right? Meaning that the manufacturer will kick in if they have advertising co-op money available. So, yeah, I mean, at worst you're going to find is a particular web vendor who isn't getting any money for this and who tries to block it and might try to delay these buttons on there. But ultimately the dealer wins, right? And ultimately the dealer's there to sell cars. And they win. And one other thing which is sort of related, but sort of isn't, but I want to put in there, this is one of those products, right, where once the dealer has it, he's very, very happy. Right? The closing ratio is high enough they can always point to a vehicle or two being sold at minimum. Interestingly enough, I was in a dealership this week, and they signed on a little while ago. I knew they didn't have a big quantity of text chats coming in, so I was kind of interested when I came in there. The guy was delighted. Why was he delighted? He was selling, this is one of the guys that was selling 50%, so he might have had 15 chats come in last month. This is a smaller guy, but he sold 7 cars on it, right? The gross profit on 7 cars, right, dwarfs so much of what we were charging, even though we were charging a nice rate, that the guy's pleased as anything. And this is one of those products, like I said, get somebody to try it, get a dealer to try it that doesn't have a text chat button, and you've sold them for life, right? So, and again, this is maybe more into the tactics kind of issues we'll get into tomorrow night on a regular basis. But it's always, look, this isn't much money. If you're on the fence, do it for 1 month, right? I'll let you out of it if you want to get out of it. They never get out of it, right? They're always sold. Again, even if the quantity of incoming text isn't high, the closing ratio is so high that the return on investment is literally better than any other marketing dollar they spend.
Thank you, John, for that. The questions are like totally overwhelming us now. Hopefully we can get this in the next half hour, so let's kind of make it quick. Do they get any metrics, reportings with their overall results? Absolutely. There's full tracking. They're also, the dealer assigned person that gets the reports is going to get a daily report emailed to them, a weekly report, and a monthly report. Do you have all of Ford's dealerships locked down or just in your area? Sam, on behalf of John, I'm just going to say it's all over the country. So there is no set territory that John has. Does your rep program offer good reviews to Google Plus, local? I think John has something to say.
Yeah, let me tell you something on that, okay? As much as I love to roll this out, and I think I can probably sell it to any dealer I have in contact with, there's 17,000 new car dealers, independent address rooftops. There's 40,000 used car dealers, right? We have a tiny, tiny fraction. We need you guys as partners because I really want to dominate this market. We have the best product. It's a matter of exposing it and putting it out in front of these guys. And if we had everybody on this call tonight sign up and start selling dealers tomorrow, they'd be selling for years before they penetrated everything in the market, right? And you know, customer retention would be extremely high and everybody would be extremely happy. There's just a lot out there. And as Ed says, I mean, there's other industries that this can be sold in, but there's so much depth inside the car retailer business. You understand that the second largest marketing spend in this country is with car dealers, right? It's $600 per new car sold for a new car franchise, a little bit less for a used car franchise, but this is how much these guys spend per car on marketing. So there's a lot of them, and they spend a lot of money. The market's very, very deep. If we all worked really, really hard, we still wouldn't, absorb all of the capacity in the market for a long time.
John is very knowledgeable, as you guys can tell. He just articulates everything perfectly. So when you guys get on the training with us going into tomorrow and the weeks after that, you guys are going to absorb a lot of the information. I've had the liberties to, I think it was almost 3 dinners now that we've met because we live at separate parts of the country, and everything this guy says I totally absorb, and it's just I learn more and more every time I meet this guy. What is the best way for prospecting for existing web chat users? So like John said, we can sell them both web and text chat at a lower rate. That's, I guess, a good way to prospect, in my opinion, would be always determine who you're selling to first. If it's a dealer, you want to go to their website, see what they're using, and obviously we're going to tell you offhand if it's a company like Edmunds. They're offering the text chat service for free, but in exchange, they're taking your customer. If you're the dealership, they're taking your customer and selling it to another dealership. So if you were the owner of a dealership and you had a website and you put a free text chat service on your site and found out that those leads are going to another dealership, wouldn't that kind of piss you off that they're using your site for that? Damn straight it would. Some of you guys are having issues getting the member center. We'll take care of you after this call. Some of you guys are having issues getting the member center. We'll take care of you after this call. John, go ahead. John, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say something about that. They offered a crippled system, right? It isn't anywhere near as dynamic as even some of the second-tier players on the Edmunds thing, and they are taking that information and reselling it. When dealers find that out, they just drop, they don't even entertain the issue, right? Because the most precious thing to a dealer is that lead, is that prospect that comes in on a car. The last thing they want to do is give that information out to a third-party vendor, so the 5 dealers in the area also have that lead.
Yeah, and our competition, they're also coming in at a starting point of about $300 up to about $1,000 a month and even higher. So we're coming in at a very, very low price point and still can be profitable. Edward says, Ed, I just joined. I trust you and your very cool niche focus. So you said you now own WBSMS and WooText. Please explain it if you can. Yeah, we own it 100%. That's all I need to say. Still support it 100% as well, and we still upgrade it every single day. Are we doing all the billing? Yes, Steve. We're not providing any CRM to handle billing, collecting payments. You're responsible for that. You're going to have to create your own invoices, all that good stuff. We're going to let you take control of your own business. You can be your own company representing another brand, however you want to do it, but we're giving you guys full control, and we want you guys to have a little bit of skin in the game, and that involves doing some of the aspects that a corporation would do. That includes billing and all that. So the live chat strictly from desktop computers. Rich, that is just our EXE program. All of our features, whether it be mobile chat, desktop chat, web chat, all talk to the same system. And that same chat with that customer can be accessed from all 3 venues, whether it be web, desktop, or the PC chat. Is there some kind of template system similar to live chat systems? For example, a standard chat script for when the first message with directions. Michael, a lot of people are going to come in with some ideas and interesting ways to market. We have a product that out of the box is ready to go, ready to sell, and works. We're not going to get into upgrading with different ways to entertain a customer until we've narrowed down the exact model, which we have, and we want to kind of focus on our core product that we've designed, and we'll get into the upgrades with how the process works later on.
Yeah, if I can add something on that too. The opportunity in the car business at the 50,000-foot view is that these guys have a lot of marketing dollars. but they do not have a whole lot of technical or product confidence or competence, right? It was only 8 years ago that these guys, stopped using green screens for their DMS, for their dealer management systems. And so at a 50,000-foot view, again, why this works, all right, is that Ed's one of the most technically competent people in general, but in the car business, he would be considered a god, a guru, right? There just isn't that level of competence. So we really don't need to get too far beyond the product that we're selling to be the most sophisticated. We're the most sophisticated product out there now. And so it's a matter of just getting it in front of people. And in terms of refining it, that'll all come once we have the land grab. Because as I said, I've never lost a customer, right? Everybody continues to subscribe and pay every month, right? The whole idea is to get you guys ramped up so you get your portfolio of customers. And then when the market gets a little more mature, right, year or two from now when we've got a dealer base that really would dominate the market, then the market's ours. Then we can continue to refine. But at this stage, it's a matter of getting it into these guys' hands because they don't have anything like it now.
Thank you, John. My storm restoration my storm restoration customer going to be doing postcards that will be distributed when the storms hit. Was planning on using Wrecking Ball to have them text in to get a link to a mobile biz card. Instead, I should text keyword to start text chat. Absolutely, Leslie, bring up a very good point. Yes, they can text a keyword to start chat, and hopefully with that storm restoration business, they're going to have someone that right there to answer those questions right away, because obviously in the first 2 hours, the customer interest goes down about 60%. So there needs to be quick action for your agents that'll be working that program. But that goes back to some of you guys remember Sticker MMS. With that product, it works where they text in a keyword and they get sent pictures of the car and the leads delivered to the salesman. Well, you can operate that same Sticker MMS model with Sales Text Chat, only it starts to chat now. It notifies the salesman, but they also are involved in a chat via text. So that's another huge aspect about Sales Text Chat. David asked, do we need to walk in, email, or call? Totally up to you. Our best methods are show and tell. So is text chat compatible with customer on a desktop, laptop, or mobile device? All the above, Kip. So for me to sell this, I need to first pay $99 setup and then $37 a month, but the $37 covers the first deal that I do right. You got most of that right, Keith. $37 a month is just for us to maintain the business and your Sales Text Chat Center. But when you purchase your first license, when you bring on your first dealer, it's going to be $37 off that first license every month. So that essentially washes your monthly fee, because that's going to be included with your first license. Michael asked, so this can be placed on their mobile site as well as their live chat button? Absolutely, Mike. How do we find prospects or hot leads? I can just search on Google for dealerships, and that'd get me a good start just in my area. There are some chat services charging per leads also. I know, Gary, I can't remember the company that's doing it, but it's not fair. I don't think a dealer should be paying for leads. I think they should be paying for a service. How many can we sell to get a 4-figure business? Well, David, why don't you go after Penske Auto Group? That would pretty much get you there really quickly, probably overnight. Can this be used on dealer.com websites? Yes, Dan, absolutely. I found the problem, FYI. If you copy the template, I'll address that, Dwayne, here in a second. Are we setting them up after the sale, or are you? We are setting them up after you sell the dealership. Excuse me. You guys are setting them up. If you guys need help, we will be there to help you out. All these words are starting to get blurry because I've been staring at this one spot for so long. Can I put it on my own site for another product offering? Absolutely, Gary. You can put this on your own website. And I want to say this. I know our focus is dealerships. Obviously, you guys might have special niches that you guys just crush it with. Run it with that. I mean, we don't want to force you into a market that you're not familiar with. Obviously, we're going to train you on the market. But if you have something that you're just totally crushing with right now, stick with it and find an in with Sales Text Chat with your niche. Are we able to download sales materials? Len asks. Yes. What should we charge? What should we charge for the increase, or excuse me, for license fee? That's stated right here. You can charge $199 to $699. You can even get higher amounts depending on how you're getting the feedback from the dealership. If they just love you and everything you say, they just hold on to every word, you might be able to get them for $1,000 a month. Is there a fake dealer site? Yes, I showed you that earlier. There is a fake dealer site that you can use right away. Any per text charge? Nope. It's included in your license. I would always charge setup. Edward, I would too. Yes, any marketing material. Doug asked, is there any generic marketing materials? Yes, there is. You can put your own logos on it. Just always make sure that you keep the sales text chat wording in there because that's our trademark. Matt says, I revoked my previous. Can you teach me to sell it? I'm in, baby. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Matt. Do we need a website of our own? Neil, absolutely not. Can this be integrated with Wrecking Ball? Wootex, no, Adam. Please explain the difference between franchise and non-franchise. Can I ask? Please see the replay because we went into that pretty in depth. Setup fees of $299 and $599. Mark asked. Absolutely. What if they are using more than 2,500 credits? What is the additional cost? Kip, if it ever happens, I doubt it's ever going to happen. The additional cost is just wholesale. Whatever Twilio charges, we're going to charge you, and then you can charge your customer the same. You can even upsell the customer, the dealership on that too. One credit equals one chat session, or is one chat session several credits? Yeah, one chat session can go up to 7, even 10 credits. We found out the average is between 7 and 10 back and forth texts per session. And I tell you guys, don't ever worry about the $2,500 credits. First off, it's our account. If you do go over, we're probably not going to give a you-know-what because they are a dealership on our system. If it gets out of hand, we'll let you know, but we don't care if you go over. So your system runs on your server, including the white label. Absolutely, Rick. When we set up a white label for a dealership, it's going to be under their name on our server. So if you send up John Chevy, it'll be johnchevytextchat.com, and the owner will access his site there. Terry asks, is there a done-for-you setup service that we can use? And if so, what is the charge for it? Terry, send me a Skype. I'd like to get more information on exactly what you're trying to convey there. Do you mind if I hire my own salespeople? Walt, oh my God, you're a genius. That's exactly what you should be doing. Everybody should be trying to spread themselves out or clone themselves as much as possible to get help on this because I'm going to tell you guys, and I don't know how John and Lena feel, I think they might feel the same way. This is the next gold rush. This is the next gold rush right now. Do we need to buy Twilio numbers? No, Gordon. We want you to focus on selling. We don't want you to deal with any of the technical aspects of setting up phone numbers and dealing with credits. We're dealing with all that. And John, I think John wants to chime in here.
Yeah, just on that last comment, it literally is a land grab, and it gets easier, not more difficult. Dealers, particularly in areas, tend to kind of jump in clusters. If they see the guy down the street doing it, then they want to do it. So your first sale might be a little bit difficult. Your second one's easier, and in any particular geography, right? If you got 3 or 4 guys, you pretty much got everybody in the system. You just show all their competitors what they're doing. So Ed is right. It's a land grab. The more guys doing this, the more successful it is. The more it kind of steamrolls on itself, which is really a good thing. It's one of those products that does that. That's kind of a really neat thing in this particular industry.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with these questions, and I just can't get that scroll thing to move anymore. There's so many questions. So I'm going to kind of like skim, and Alina, if you see any questions that kind of stand out, there's something that's pretty important that should be conveyed to our partners here. let me know. I'm just going to try to skim here. Just interrupt me at any time, guys. Edward says, this is a no-brainer if you're using and making money using SMS like I have. And you know, Ed, this is very sweet. Thanks. Can you take payment with other than PayPal? Steve, contact us. We'll try to work something out with you. Are doing all the sales face-to-face? Have you tried email prospecting, and is that laid out in the training? Actually, Kip, we have done some email marketing. It's just, you don't get the response rates that you get from face-to-face. There's nothing like just taking your tablet into a dealership, going up to the Internet Manager, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about in the webinar about the approach, the foot in the door, and getting to the gatekeeper, where you can just show it off. I mean, show and tell. It's stuff that we did when we were in kindergarten, and I think it's I'm a nervous person. I'm going to tell you that first. I'm a very nervous person, especially when it comes to face-to-face. I would have no problem having the confidence of my product, which is Sales Text Chat, going in and not having one single nerve show up in any conversation I would have with a dealership. I'm so confident in the product that I have. So many more questions. So the monthly license is in US dollars. Absolutely. No self-install. This is brilliant. Thanks, Neil. I think it's one of our great ideas, just to get away from all that jazz. It's not fun for me, and it's not fun for you guys. What exactly does the dealer install on their end? They don't install anything, Michael. It's going to be the job of the provider, who's probably the website. Some dealers actually are articulate enough where they actually make their own website, and so in that case, you would just give them the code to place on their website. Do we still need the Wootex product, or can we just focus on a new product? Now, Terry, when it comes to our other product lines, it doesn't mean I want you guys to quit what you're doing. There's so much more on top of what we're offering you guys that you can sell to dealers. Anything that's inside Wootex or any previous product that you've ever bought from me or any other guru, you could still upgrade and sell to these dealerships. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of you guys, most of you, have bought products from gurus that where the business model was just totally kick-ass, but the product went away after a few weeks. Take the stuff that you've learned from other gurus, and I'm not going to bash gurus because they do teach some very good stuff. Take the stuff that you've learned from them and the stuff that you've learned from us, implement that in your pitch for Easy Money Machine Sales Text Chat, and you're going to crush it. I saw the sales literature. How can we demo the system for a prospect? In other words, reading something on a piece of paper is one thing, but seeing it demoed on a tablet or cell phone is mind-blowing. Absolutely, Jim. You definitely want to show and tell. Gordon asked about keywords with the old Woot system. No, we're not going to deal with, we're not going to intermingle products. Anything you have there stays there. Any keywords you want to bring to our system, you just create on the fly inside of your Sales Text Chat admin. We've already addressed the text questions, the credits questions. We don't care if you go over a few months. If it gets out of hand, we'll contact you. L. Bates says, "You go, girl." I think that's to Alina. Nigel asks, "I have never felt that a product seller has my back. The way you are, that the way you are is so refreshing, and truly feel that you are dealing with professionals." Absolutely. We're not playing the guru game. This is a corporation. This is a company. We're running a business here, and our goal is to be successful. And I've laid out a plan to get us in the Inc. 500 or even the Inc. 100 in the next year. That's our goal. I got a Lexus. Even they were obligated to use Cobalt. That's what Larry said. I think they're using Cobalt. I think John and I and Elena will discuss how we deal with some of these companies that are not allowing outside vendors into their systems. I think that's something that we can kind of work around and kind of work towards. But we'll do it on a case-by-case basis. How long does it take to install a new dealer? Once you collect the information from the dealer, it takes about, I'd say about 30 minutes. Who is Cars2Go.Mobi? Is that you? No, that is a competitor with a far inferior product. Edward says the path of least resistance, don't go to them. I don't know what that means. I think some of you might be able to figure it out. I can't. I am just fried right now. Is this easier to sell to a new car franchise dealer or buy here, pay here lots? BJ, I think you're going to have success either way you go. I think the easier sell is going to be with the smaller independents because they obviously have more time and there's an easier foot in the door when only 2 people work there. Simon says, I just got on, Ed. Could you put where...
let me add something about that.
Yep, go ahead.
Can I jump in 1 second on the buy here, pay here? Because this is kind of interesting, because I've had dealers actually, I mean, we have sales text chat focused on the front end. We have service text chat focused on service, which we haven't talked about a whole lot here. I actually have dealers set up and buy a whole separate system when they do distressed finance or difficult finance, kind of separate buy here, pay here lots. It's very interesting why they do that, right? They're looking for leads, they get leads, right? And what they want to do is text and get authorization. They want people to come in by text because the distressed credit guy doesn't answer phone calls. It goes into voicemail and usually that's full. So special finance in this is a niche that nobody's exploited yet, but it seems to be for the dealers that have discovered that and are sold on sales text chat. They buy a whole separate system for their special finance end of things because there's a useful niche there as well. It's a lot easier to communicate to that customer with text. They'll look at text, they'll read text. They really won't take phone calls because they've got a lot of people calling them usually, you know, to collect money, right? So it's in a lot of cases it's the only way that the distressed finance guy inside the store can communicate with leads effectively because they can go back and forth by text. Just thought I'd add that because it's an interesting phenomenon. I hadn't discovered that. Dealers that I have and I work very closely with said, hey, can I set up a separate system because I have a distressed finance, you know, a subprime credit area. Can I use the system for this? And they've been very successful with it.
A couple of people have searched and found a couple text chat competitors. I'm going to tell you right now, none of them can offer an all-in-one solution. And John, if you want to expand on how dealers are tired of having their CPAs just flying off the hook because there's so many payments going out to so many different companies, if you can expand on that.
Yeah, and I can expand in general on the competition because remember, I got in this business vending somebody else's product, and then they got taken over by a larger organization, and then they kind of froze product development. So I'm very familiar with what nascent competition is out there. I can tell you that 4 of the 5 points on Ed's PowerPoint are exclusive to us, right? There's no one out there offering short code and long code at the same time, meaning, you know, you can't say, you know, text a keyword and be able to add pictures on a long code. No one except one competitor is offering web chat along with text chat, and that one competitor literally is putting packages together at $800-900 a month, right? Reputation management integrated in text chat does not exist, right? White label, meaning somebody's got 6 stores and they want to put one parent text chat together with a lot of child, that doesn't exist, right? The call notification doesn't exist. I mean, remember, I've used and in a lot of cases sold all the competition out there, and this whole company was founded with Ed and I getting together and me talking to Ed and saying, look, Ed, can we build something better? Can we improve upon it? Here's all the dealer feedback I've gotten on what they want to see with one really comprehensive product. Can we put it together? And that's the stage that we're at now. We have this comprehensive product. In the tactic seminars, and really probably don't have the time to do it here, but in the tactic seminars, if you give me the competitor out there, again, I can show you all the weaknesses of what they don't do versus what we do, because I've lived it for 3 years.
All right, just a reminder, guys, we're getting close to the end here. I don't want to lose this recording because this is a very good call. I think it behooves us, I don't know, we'll have to check our schedule. We might even do another call to answer some unanswered questions going on Thursday. But for those of you that are partnered with us already, thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. on the training call. This is our solution, our software, you are representing Sales Text Chat. You don't have to install anything, no plugins, no nothing. If you want to install the chat widget on your site, you are welcome to do so, as if you were emulating a dealership, or if you just want to use it for your own good. I mean, you can do that. You can use it and collect leads off your site and start text chat with your customers for whatever product you're selling. So that's something that we can extend to you, and you're going to get it even if you don't want to sell dealers and you continue to pay $37 a month. You still have a solution on your site now that's just $37 a month, and it's cheaper than anything that's out there, because the other companies are going to hit you up for $500 setup and probably up to $3,000 to $1,000 a month for the service. So there's added value just in that if you don't want to go any further, even selling Sales Text Chat. I don't know why you wouldn't want to sell Sales Text Chat. I'm totally losing my voice. Getting to the end, John, Elena, if there's anything else you want to say to welcome our new partners on, I'll let you guys say it now, then we'll close the call.
I just want to thank everybody, and again, some of the more details and tactics we'll save for tomorrow and subsequent seminars. But again, I mean, Ed's piece of this, you know Ed, you know the integrity of the technology. You don't know me quite as well, but on the sales tactics and sales end and competitors, that's our thing, right? We'll continue to do that. Continue to work with you. You say, hey, I'm selling against X or Y, and this is what they're saying. We'll give you a strategy to go around it, right? And we'll give you the bullet points that'll say, okay, here's the 5 things that we do that they don't do, and in addition, this is you know, kind of the flaws in their system. Because again, we know this area really well. We've sold some of the guys out there. We've resold some of the guys out there. We know where all the bugs are, and we know what they don't have relative to what we have, and at price points that are much higher than ours. So we'll get into that as we go. What I just want to tell you is there's as much support on the sales end as there is on the tech end. Again, we want all of you to be successful, and we want the end user dealer to be so successful that he's jumping up and down and just waiting for the next thing that you're gonna put in front of him, because that really is the key. The best thing is when you signed up a dealer and within the first 10 days they've sold a car off text chat. Then you never really have to do anything more again. That guy's a customer for life.
All right. On behalf of John, my awesome partners, John and Alina Pasamato, I'm Ed Hopkins. This is Sales Text Chat. You're going to want to go to dealermobilesolutions.com/join. If you have any questions that are outstanding, you can hit me up on Skype at handle CompassIT. It's COMPASSIT. We all hope you have a good night, and hopefully all you guys can sleep. I know some of you are going to be really excited what tomorrow brings. So the replay will be made available here in the next couple hours. Just hang in tight. We'll send out an email. Everyone have a good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Ed Hopkins, John Pasamato, and Alina Pasamato signing off. Good night.